Jeez, Kenny, you took half the pot roast.
I did not. I took a little piece. Oh, shit. I figured since it takes us a couple minutes to shoot the lights out anyway.
Hot.
Hey, when you cook stuff, it gets hot.
Shut
Be
up,
careful.
Rob. We're always eating on the fucking podcast. Always.
This would only be my second time eating on the podcast.
I eat every time on the fucking podcast. Where's my salt?
Views on the Thursday night.
Move, bitch, get out the way.
You're live on the internet, say hi.
Come on, move.
I'm in your way. Climb over the other side like you usually do.
Oh, go put the thing in the window.
No, really Thursday.
Why?
Because I'm too fucking drained to be dealing with that bullshit today.
Okay.
On the very off chance that his phone actually rang.
Yeah. Not emotionally prepared for that.
Was.
The 3 hours of sleep I got this afternoon were the most sleep I got all weekend.
This pot roast is fucking delicious.
Hello, hello to whoever's watching.
I'm ready when you are.
Yeah.
There's a little bit left in there, Kenny, if you want it.
Right. It's on you right here.
Otherwise, I'll end up eating it.
Let the viewers watch me eat.
Want a bite, Ralph?
No.
No pot roast?
I was eating during The Walking Dead. Like a normal person.
I don't think normal people eat during The Walking Dead.
Especially with the sludge monsters.
I call them shit zombies.
That'd have been a long ass time to be sitting in that sewer.
Oh, God.
That's what they were. They were shit zombies.
Are you online? Who's watching?
Yes, Rob, I'm online. With my imaginary computer.
I'll let you talk
Hold
to
on.
me again. That's nice.
Hold on, let me type something up for you.
Let me get something typed up for you, too. Come here.
Don't you fucking do it.
Where are we going?
Did you get your hair cut?
No.
Looks like it.
Maybe. Like a week and a half ago. It's been like this since last Sunday at least. I got cut 2 Fridays ago.
It looks
Beard's
good.
growing out though.
looks shorter.
Look at this. Huh?
Kenny can't do no shave November.
He is doing no shave.
He can't. It messes with his face.
It irritates my skin.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting at the point where it's not itchy anymore, so it's good.
Alright. Welcome back, everybody, to another bonus episode, Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 5.
Ooh, almost done the season.
First half, anyway.
Well, yeah.
Don't jinx it, man.
Well, and alright, so as always, we'll start at the top with a big spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about The Walking Dead Episode 5 now. We're also going to be talking about the previous episodes of this season of The Walking Dead, all seasons of The Walking Dead, maybe some Fear of the Walking Dead, and maybe even some stuff out of the comics. So, if you haven't read or consumed any of that material and you're planning on it, don't listen. Pause this right now, go finish what you're going to do, and then come back. So. And make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com for new episodes of the podcast. New episodes every Thursday, bonus episodes whenever we feel like it, generally Sunday or Monday, or I guess Monday or Tuesday. Bonus episodes Monday or Tuesday. Check out Dirty Shore UG. Good grief, it's been a long weekend. At Dirty Shore UG on Twitter and Facebook. We tweet out the link to the live stream, which we're doing right now, obviously. You can come in and join the conversation, chat with us live while we do it. So, let's start out at the top with something I was talking with Colin about.
Mm-hmm.
Every week that goes by, I am more sure that Glenn is alive.
Yep.
If Glenn's going to be dead, every week we would have said something about it. But it's all about, is he alive, is he not alive? It's just building up controversy.
And they gave a better reason for it at the whole thing tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Now, see, I must have missed where she said it. What did she say?
I missed it too, but apparently when they were at the gate to get out of the sewer, she said she was pregnant.
Now, because when she started wiping away the name on the wall, and he said Aaron's a good name, I'm like, did she say she was pregnant? I rewound it and watched it again, and I didn't catch it the second time either. So, I gotta say, like, Walking Dead, they step your game up. Like, if you're gonna make that kind of bombshell, make it so that people know, at least. I don't know how I missed it twice, but...
She did.
What did she say?
When they were standing at the gate and he kept trying to open the gate, she said no. He said, why? She said, it's over. I'm pregnant.
Okay, now see, I must have totally fucking missed that. Because but it's like they didn't say anything about it after
She
that.
said, I'm pregnant. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do, because if he was alive, he would have showed me he was by now.
And I remembered that, I heard her say that both times, that if he was alive, I must have just missed the thing.
She told him she was pregnant.
And the whole, and what did I say? I told Colin this when she burned the picture. Was it last season she burned the picture? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, don't do that. How many fucking cameras are there left in the world? You actually have a picture of somebody. Let it ride. No, I'm never going to leave you. Bitch, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Like, keep the picture. And then she was talking about how she felt bad that she burned the picture, and now he's out there and alone again. So.
And she also said she felt bad. That's when she said she was pregnant. She said, because I wanted to go with him, and he told me to stay here.
So, does he know?
I'm guessing.
Okay. I mean, I couldn't tell if that meant that he knew.
I don't know if he knows or not. Well, all I know is he told her to stay there, and that's why she said if I was with him, I probably could have helped him. And
I think he said to her, "You know why?" when she was originally trying to leave with him to go out.
Maybe he did.
So.
See, it's that little shit that I love that when you watch it again, you'll be like, oh, yeah, he did say that, you know why.
I think the reason I missed the whole part where she said she was pregnant is because I was fixated on the gate and the zombies on the other side of it.
And I think that I just fear any woman ever telling me she's pregnant, so I just block it out. I'm like a victim of abuse. I just block all that shit out. So, but speaking of the sewer scene, one of the best... When you think they can't surprise you about the zombies anymore, like that shit happening, it reminded me of something and I can't place it. Either it was a pirate movie or maybe it was Lord of the Rings about like the creatures rising out of the mud, but that shit actually scared the fuck out of me. I haven't jumped during The Walking Dead in a long time, but that scared the hell out of me.
Shit zombies?
Yes, sludge zombies, if you will.
Shit zombies.
But like, so I guess the guy had been down there and the ladder collapsed on him for who knows how long.
My
Yeah.
first thought was they were homeless people.
But see, so that doesn't. I mean, I guess if they were there from the very beginning, but that means that for like 3 years they've been in the mud, and that's got to be one of the flaws. I think. Obviously, I get it. It's scary. You don't expect it, and that's what they're going for. But if the body is so sludgy that she's actually pushing through the rib cage, how's that bitch getting up and walking over? There's nothing solid. You know what I mean? Like, she's literally pushing through him, and she can't push him away because there's nothing to push back on. Mm-hmm. But if that's the case, how is he standing up and walking around? And I'm all about, like, I maybe I'm a nerd, and the science thing kind of appeals to me, but I get the science part. I get the science part of it, but, like, when Aaron gets both of them in the head, water spills out. That means the brain isn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. The brain's just water. How? That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't understand that. But you know,
maybe they'll attempt to explain.
I think this was a one-off. I don't think we'll see it again. It was they wanted to scare us in the sewer because the sewers are scary in general, but obviously, you know, they had to add that little bit. It couldn't have been. I mean, they were going to do the thing at the gate where they couldn't get out and the zombies come up to the door, but they wanted that extra little thing. And the sewers are already scary, and nothing worse than the sludge zombie that like, lifts his head up out of the mud. But I just don't think. I'm all about rules. What's that?
You can't what?
It's our hacker buddy.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't. You know, the whole.
I think it's funny he's telling you guys to get jobs, but yet he was the same one trying to offer you guys a deal to pay you.
Right. Well. Anyway, but I can't get behind stuff that doesn't fit in with all the rules of the universe. Like Hulk. Whatever. Have you seen the Hulk movie with I almost said Edward Snowden, not Edward Snowden though. Ed Norton. Where
the original one.
Was that the original one? God damn, yeah. But where, like, sometimes he looks like he's about 8 feet tall, sometimes he looks like he's 15 feet tall.
I don't know, ask Domino's. Yeah. They're probably going to look for you.
Don't engage.
No, because you're getting on my nerves.
So, it's sometimes he's 8 feet tall, sometimes he's 15 feet tall, sometimes he can jump 10 feet, sometimes he can jump a mile. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not, it's either you can jump the full way or you can't. Like, basically, you gotta have rules. And I think that the whole episode went against the rules, like that part of it, the sludge guys went against rules, which is when the brain's destroyed, even if it's just one knife through the brain, that kills the zombies. So if they're mush, they shouldn't be able to walk around.
Right.
But, so what? And I guess rules were rules. The freaking Deanna. Stabbing the zombie in the chest for 40 minutes?
What the fuck? Come on!
I was literally like, there was also the moment where I'm screaming at the screen. I'm like, how long have you been living in this world?
I said it too, like, hit him in the head.
And it was sharp enough, she probably could have stabbed him in the head.
The memorandum?
Yeah.
It said, who's Deanna? Obviously the only one that did not know. You aim for the head.
Yeah, and I was just like yelling. Stab him in the fucking head. I can only imagine what one of my neighbors was thinking, like with me just screaming, stab him in the fucking head. Because I usually, I don't get that worked up for The Walking Dead. I like to watch it, I enjoy it, but the whole like, hit him, and I'm like, if this bitch gets eaten and they find her with a zombie with his chest torn up, and I'm Rick, I'm like, I told her to put him in the head. I don't know what this is. I don't know what she did here. But no, I found it interesting. She started out the episode very
blah.
Yeah. And did you notice
like she didn't want to go on living?
Basically, yeah. And did you notice and when she went up onto the stand, she felt the little thing. So I was trying to figure out what that was, and I rewound it back to read it again. And obviously that was the first part of the fence that went up, and her husband had actually like signed it, number 1. So she's very. And we got to keep in mind, like, how much time has passed thus far in Alexandria?
for this season?
Yeah. This season's still one day.
Yeah, it's still one day. Judging from the preview for next week, it backtracks to earlier in the day. We see what's going on with the rest of the crew that's outside.
Right.
Not Glenn, though. He's still missing.
Right. But, like, so what happened...
That's the longest day ever in history.
But, like, so, you know, and the plan with Rick... I was trying to figure out how long that took to come together, but I feel like it was literally like Morgan shows up, the next day they find the quarry, and then they're like, we gotta work quick. And it was probably 1 or 2 days, and then shit hits the fan, right? No, we don't see that. That's it's a flashback to that part.
They did a whole flashback for that.
So I mean, obviously, this season has been a day, but it's only been 3 or 4 days since Morgan showed up. And I think it's just really rough for her. So her husband died. I mean, it's easy for us to be like, well, it was months. It was a couple of months since the last episode, and then now it's been a month and a half that we've been doing this with this season. And I guess it's easy for us to lose track of, like, she saw her husband killed by Michonne's knife like 4 days ago, so she's still fucked up.
He wasn't killed by Michonne.
Michonne's knife,
Oh.
or the sword, by Jesse's husband, Alexander Beck, who I am in love with. I really love Alexander Beck. So, but then she gets all, you know, she hears her son talking and goes back. What is she doing when she's writing on that paper?
Looked like she was finishing his plans for a field for growing crops and shit to me.
I was trying to figure out what that was. Is that what it was? It was his plans?
That's what I think that's what she was doing, finishing his plans. Maybe they were in bed certain nights and he was talking about stuff, and then she just went and grabbed the plans and
started scrolling down on everything.
Yep.
One thing I loved about it, and I thought they would make it the title of the episode. The title of the episode was Now, but she writes in Latin on the page. Did you catch that?
No.
All right, so when she's like scrolling, and they do like 2 minutes of her writing, and then she writes in bold letters, Dolor hic tibi proderet olim, and then underlines the whole thing. So I was like, oh, I've heard that before, but I can't remember what it meant, so I looked it up, and it's actually a quote from Marius Romanus, and it says, well, the first part of it is prefer et obdura, which is be patient and tough. But the part she wrote down is, someday this pain will be useful to you. So, I mean, I think that was, I thought that was a turning point for her, but I guess then her drunk ass son, who stole shit from the
pantry.
The pantry, broke her again. Like, right, she had a rough episode. Feeling like shit, got her life back together. Fucking lost it again, attacked by a zombie, and she looked zoned out after the attack. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So I mean, I feel like we're gonna have a lot more. But the one thing I did love about what she said to Rick was, "They don't need me anymore. They need you."
Yep.
So I think that we're gonna see a shift. And we were talking last week about leaders and followers. She's showing that in the end, she is. I want to go back to the timeline, but side note on that, what is going on with Jesse's son asking Rick to teach him how to shoot?
I think he wants payback on Carl, to be honest with you. That was the first thing I fucking thought.
I was when he went and talked to Rick, I'm doing it for Enid, I'm worried about Enid, but I think really he's just being a little bitch and telling on Carl because he thinks that he's going to go over the wall. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, it's only been 4 days. So what in 4 days has changed him so much? Is it seeing the zombies? Is it seeing like the horde right out the wall, or what?
I think it's a combination of his father dying and seeing Eden having a thing for Carl.
The new people came in and changed his life.
I mean, is it really that quickly that you're just like, no, fuck you, Rick, you killed my dad. All right, buddy, you can teach me how to shoot. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't seem to make any sense.
But how ironic would it be if he tried to kill Rick and Carl, and Rick's the one that taught him to shoot?
Yeah, and that's my first thought was he's gonna end up killing Carl, and Rick's or trying to kill Carl, and Rick's the one who's gonna teach him how to shoot. So,
if it makes it that far.
But again, looking at the timeline, 4 days ago in our universe, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less, Rick kills Jesse's husband. It was a sanctioned killing. 2 days before that, they got in the fight where they went through the plate glass window, and then he looks at Deanna and she's like, "Do it!" and he fucking shoots him right in front of Morgan. And it took only 4 days for him to move in on Jesse and make out with her in the garage.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so there are two things in this episode that really pissed me off. As a writer, though, not as a viewer. As a viewer, I love it because I want Rick and Jesse to get together. I think that she's coming into her own with the way she fucking handled that wolf. But
Although it felt like she put almost no effort into that, though.
Wait, no, not Betsy, the wolf in the kitchen where she was stabbing her with the scissors. And when we see her with Betsy, I think that's part of she's changing. She's gonna be okay surviving outside the wall because she's like, this is what we have to do now. Open the door an inch, stab her in the eye, let her die. I'm like, goddamn. But 4 days later, making moves on, they're just making out in the garage, full view of everybody. I don't know. But
I think she's quickly grasping the concept of the new world.
So, there are girls who I make fun of in this world who are the survivors who go from one dude to the next dude to the next dude, and they're always just scrapping around to try and make it. Is that who she is?
I think in this world, yeah. I mean, because that's how Glenn and Maggie started out. It was just sex,
That's true.
Sex in a shop.
And looking out for each other, basically trusting each other. But so the two things I didn't like as a writer, not as a viewer, but as a writer, is they had unnecessary exposition when Maggie is about to go over the wall, and Aaron comes into the armory and finds her, and he spends 2 minutes explaining the flares on the end of the rebar and the whole thing. I'm like, why the fuck are we going through this? We don't need to know about that, I don't. But and the second is unnecessary, not necessarily unnecessary, but character deaths, killing off characters solely for the purpose of bringing people together. Jesse's husband had no purpose in the show. He fought with Rick from the very beginning, but it wasn't it's not like Ethan Embry where he was actively trying to get other people to not trust Rick. He just didn't like Rick, and he was kind of a dick. He was a dick to Carol, and he broke her fucking dish after she brought him casserole. But he served no purpose at all, except...
I think Carol scared the shit out of him. That's why he broke the dish.
Carol scares the shit out of me, too. But he served no purpose in the whole universe, except for Rick to kill. And I guess to kill Deanna's husband, too. But... it's the writers solely put him in there to get in Rick's way, and then Rick has to kill him in order for him and Jesse to get together. Just as easily, they could have made Jesse a single mom, and then there's no need to have this thing. So I just hate superfluous stuff that they write in, and they really have no purpose.
I think they were trying to keep that connection with the comic books on that one.
Is that what happens in the comics? Yeah. So give us a little breakdown.
They had the big fight, and then Rick killed him. It's the way he killed him. I mean, it wasn't whole Deanna. It was Demare was a guy in the book, but it wasn't that just like that where she told him to do it. It was a little bit different. I think he just ended up killing him in the streets during the fight.
I think somebody told me that at the end of the fight is when Jesse's husband died in the comics, through the plate glass window and tumbling around, and Rick kills him, and that's what causes all the we can't trust him. He can't be in here. He's killing people. That kind of stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting writing choice. Just like I said, with Aaron explaining what the rebar's for. Did you care what the rebar was for? Did you notice that Maggie was making flare stuff?
No.
I didn't.
I think he was doing it to try to work his way up into talking her out of going outside the walls.
Well, and part of that, yes, and part of it was, there's another way out, and explaining that you don't have to go over the walls, but you can just say that. You're like, I'm coming with you. There's another way out. We're going to take that way out and go. Anyway, so one other thing I wanted to point out at least. What did I say? Who did I say was yelling, open the gates at the end of the last episode?
Rick.
Didn't I? Was that me? Was I the one who said? No, it was definitely Rick. And I think everyone was like, no, couldn't be Rick.
I didn't even hear the yelling.
Didn't
so.
I
sound
don't know.
like Rick.
We can watch the last one.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I'm talking about we can watch the last podcast.
Oh, yeah. Everybody should flip back and watch that because I can tell you that I was right. 100%. Now, I don't know that maybe they're going to flash back next week and show how Rick got out of that shitty situation, but it's being on one day is kind of confusing because I feel like they're not giving enough travel time to be where they're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Like the group that Rick sent ahead, like, was still standing right by the gate when he ran in. But they went opposite directions, and then Rick went to the RV, and then Rick moved the RV, and then somehow got out of that situation.
That's what I asked him. I said, how the hell did he get out of the fucking RV?
They should have showed it.
Well, I think they're going to. I think next week is going to be kind of like what happened outside the walls again, and how does Rick get to the front gate. Because you also notice he's more beat up when he gets to the gate than he was before. So obviously I think something happens, and they're going to have to show that. But it's so fucking confusing. And this is also a kind of season where it might be good after it's done to rewatch them in chronological order. Like, okay, and if anybody on the internet's got the skill, fucking cut it together so it's one big long episode with scenes in order as they happen. That would be awesome. Maybe I'll do that. I bet that'd get some YouTube views.
I bet it would.
Yeah. But, you know, I said it was Rick coming to the gate. It was Rick coming to the gate. And the gate seems really flimsy. When they, like, yank it open and push it shut, the only thing I could think is, like, man, that gate does not look really secure.
Yep.
But apparently it is, because it's holding back.
Not at the end of the episode.
Right, now, and see, so that was my comment. It's that this flimsy-ass fucking gate that rolls seems to be holding up just fine. But the solid wall, like the wall that's been reinforced, is giving in? Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make any sense. But so, Colin was saying that he thought it was a crack. Did it look like a crack?
I didn't.
It looked like it was slowly starting to,
The wall was bleeding.
split.
Right, now see, and I said I thought it was just that, you know, they were getting pressed up against the wall on the other side, and the blood was coming through, like, just like it happened with where the RV was parked before. Like, they all kind of just got smashed into the wall. Mm-hmm. I was thinking it was just pushing blood through. But Colin seems he's watching it again right now. Seems to think that that the wall was also cracking, but I didn't see that. So, but is the town surrounded now? Is that what they were saying?
I think so. I think the whole thing with the main wall, I think that was trying to play up another piece of the comic too.
Okay.
Because in the comic there was a weak spot in the wall, and eventually the walkers started to get through.
Well, and that's the part of the wall where the tractor trailer ran into. Yeah. Does that happen in the comics?
I don't remember a tractor trailer running into it. But
it was just a weak spot.
It was just a weak spot.
Right, yeah. And I mean, I think we said last week, we said in the last couple of weeks, that this is a show that's all about, right when you think you're safe, you're not. And I think they're building up that, like, no, it's okay. Even though they ran in the walls and the zombies are here, we're still safe inside. You're never fucking safe inside.
Fucking Rick saying, they're the ones guarding this place now.
Well, but to be fair, I mean, right now I would say, well, let me ask, who's the bigger threat, the wolves or the zombies?
The wolves.
So in a way, the zombies are the guards, because the wolves can't get in.
Hell no, not with all them motherfuckers around that place.
And, so, I mean, I guess they are kind of the guards. And what else did he say? They're the guards. Right now, all we're doing is looking for the others or for a signal from Glenn. Mm-hmm. But who knows if Glenn's going to have a signal? Maybe not.
Season 6,
episode 7.
Episode 8, mid-season finale, last shot, dark.
Going up?
Yep.
Is that what are you calling that?
That's what I think it'll be. And Glenn's still out there.
Well, I think it'll also be, one of the things I think they're doing is cutting back and forth between people and places and time gets us confused about what's going on. And we know Abraham is outside the walls, his crew with Daryl, they're outside the walls. And apparently some shit's gonna go down because I
You caught it too.
I did. I caught it at the end because I wasn't paying attention.
It's looking like they're gonna run into the wolves.
And I think that might be what happens, is that they're leading this horde and then the wolves find them and see what happens there. But so they'll be outside, but that's not a bad call. Then we see like a flare go up,
Yep.
And then it's like, was that Glenn? Was that Daryl? Was it Abram? Who's sending it off? So I guess we'll see. One other thing that I thought was really interesting is the lesbian that was with Abraham and his crew. Do you know who I'm talking about? She posted a picture from an event in New York, and she is fucking super pregnant right now.
Who?
Okay, so Abraham's got the girl that he was fucking on the way in, right? Mm-hmm. And then they had that other girl who was with them.
The lesbian girl?
The lesbian girl, yeah.
Danny Matheson's sister?
Is that who it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that, but apparently so. So yeah, so she posted this picture from some thing at the garden, and she's like 9 months. She's like 15 months pregnant, but 9 months pregnant, and she's fucking huge. And then so I saw that, and I'm like, they were filming this like 9 months ago. You know, like last spring they're filming it for about this year. And did you notice that she when she comes in to talk to the doctor chick, who I also realized I know from something else, and I can't remember what. Do you know who I'm talking about? The girl who sucks the pus out of the guy's leg or whatever, saves his leg. She's from something else too, and I can't place it, but she was in another show that had like kind of a long running, I think. Anyway, when she comes in, she's wearing a hoodie that's got some stuff in the front, and it's like she's jingling stuff around. And then when she pulls the chair up, she turns it around and sits across the chair so that the back is blocking her stomach. And I'm like, fuck, she's pregnant in this thing. And I never fucking noticed. And I think that they did a good job of like showing her from like here up. Her face looks like a little chubby, but it's not that noticeable. And then when she's standing there, I'm like, fuck, she's pregnant. And I told Colin to watch it and see if he picked it up. And he is like, yeah, she looks pregnant. I'm like, okay, good. I'm not crazy, but she really was. So, good for them, I guess. What's going on with the dude in the hospital, by the way? Who is that? He's somebody who was in the Alexandria crew, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened to him that put him in there.
I don't even remember, unless it was during the wolves attack.
Maybe it was.
And he was just somebody that was on camera that got hurt.
And maybe that was it. I don't remember them bringing him in or anything. And I don't really get that story arc to begin with. Like the doctor, like I get it that she didn't really want to be a doctor, and now she's, you know, her big hope, what'd she say, was that another doctor shows up at the gate so she can go back to reading War and Peace. Like I get that, but I don't really understand why we care. Why do I care about this girl? I have no feelings about her whatsoever, except for that she's reading something that I think is made up. It's a made-up medical dictionary, and if you're a doctor and you're flipping through a dictionary, like a medical dictionary, to figure out what's wrong with somebody, that person's fucked. When you're trying to figure out what it is in a book, that guy's gonna die.
Oh, yeah.
But whatever it was, she like sucked the thing out, and then his heart, did you notice his heart rate like slowed down or whatever? Like wait till the last minute. Like he's literally about to have a heart attack. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what medical condition that is, but it doesn't make any sense. So at the end of the episode, we know that Deanna's back in a weird place after she killed the thing. Abram's girlfriend is crying about what? I have no idea. Maybe that he's outside the walls. I don't know if I missed something with her. But when Deanna's son comes to relieve her, she's just crying. And I don't think I've seen her cry through any of the episodes that we've known her.
Yeah.
Alexandria is basically a graveyard. I mean, they said we need to be quiet, like a graveyard, and the girl's like, it's already a graveyard. But they're not doing a good job of being quiet. Like everybody's yelling at each other.
That's what I was sitting there thinking. Why? You just said y'all needed to be quiet and there are lights on, and then there's houses that have lights on.
Yeah.
People getting loud.
Rick's making out with Jesse in a garage that's just basically a funnel of light out to the outside. And I guess if you're doing that in real life, if I'm Rick, I'm riding around like, I fucking told you to shut up. What the fuck are you yelling out here for?
Yeah.
Yeah, or turn the fucking lights off. Are you insane? But I guess it doesn't really matter. But it just shit like that bugs me.
Because
like,
they still feel safe.
And I mean, maybe that's it. They're building the thing that, like, yes, these people broke in. Yes, there's 3,000 zombies outside, but we're still safe because we're inside the walls. But the walls are bleeding, so I guess we'll see. Have we talked? Is there anything else we need to talk about from this episode? I feel like the big news was that
Betsy died by cutting her wrists.
Yeah. I guess the rush on the everybody. It's weird. Because they're living like they have nothing to live for. They try to break into the pantry and steal all the food, and Deanna's son is like a little bit badass, actually, like surprisingly badass. I didn't pull a gun on him, though I thought maybe he was going to. And Betsy cuts her wrist. I don't remember, I can never remember people from before. But until they get found in their houses dead or whatever. Who was Betsy?
I don't know either.
Because I asked him who she was.
Was she the one who said this place is already a graveyard? Fuck, I can't remember. But people are getting desperate. And, again, if you're in this world, and you know you're going to turn into a zombie, why would you cut your wrist? Like
because at that point she's dead, it's not her problem.
But my worst fear is that I would die and come back and kill some of my friends. Like, the zombie me would end up eating my friends. Like, you gotta do something to make sure you destroy the brain. Shoot yourself, secure yourself
Apparently
somewhere.
she's the other one that didn't know you're supposed to go for the brain.
Maybe so. And also, like, just in her street clothes, too. Like, didn't even get in the bathtub or anything. Just got in her street clothes and cut her wrist. I don't know. It's stuff like that bothers me. But it's a weird dichotomy of desperation, that they're just like, we're giving up and we're raiding the pantry because I'd rather eat now if we're going to die anyway than die with food in the pantry, which I get. I mean, if you knew you were going to die. But they're basically being sieged by zombies. And you don't know when you're going to get new food, you don't know any of that. The one way in and out, other than the front gate, apparently also isn't safe. Although that did remind me of the prison. Like, go get that rebar, through the bars, until you clear yourself a way out.
Yeah, and if you pile up enough of them in front of the gate, then obviously they're not coming through the gate anytime soon either.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't matter with the walls cracking.
Well, and maybe it doesn't matter because the wall's cracking. But the other fucked up thing is, if the walls break, what do you fucking do?
You're screwed.
Where do you go? The whole place is fucking surrounded.
Run like a motherfucker.
I guess down
What? But run where?
I guess down into that sewer if you're somebody that's skinny enough to fit in that little asshole.
But I mean, that's the thing, is that I know that this is all about going back on the road. The whole point of what's happening is they're going back on the road at some point. But where the fuck do you go when your town's surrounded and the wall breaks? The only thing to do is to, like, I guess, fight your way through the crowd that's coming in. They make a hole in the wall. You fight back through the hole and then just run for it on the other side.
Although they do still have the dead bodies sitting next to the fence, they could easily cover themselves in blood and guts.
That's true. And just walk out. What?
Why don't they just cover themselves in the fucking zombie guts whenever they gotta go somewhere?
Oh yeah,
Like-
she says that like every week.
Like the last episode when they're all trying to run from the zombie horde and they're hiding and the guy gets eaten, and when everybody thinks Glenn died.
Right.
I said, why didn't they just cover themselves in zombie guts?
Well, and I mean,
Because they had 2 zombies in the store with them.
yeah.
There was only, 4 people? If you covered yourself with zombie guts and just walked outside, they'd have been like, oh, okay, fuck it.
The only thing I would say is that Alexandria is different because it has showers, it has working showers. But everywhere else, I wouldn't want to wash that shit off. Because if you do it just to go out, like at the jail, you do it to go out, but then you can't shower when you get back, so you just smell like fucking zombie all the time. And Michonne apparently didn't seem to mind it, but everybody else seems to act like the zombies stink, like the dead body, and I imagine it would stink. So that's the only thing I could say, is that you wouldn't want to do it, and because then there wouldn't be a fucking show. That's why. All right, because none of your favorite people would die. That's why.
Common sense.
Maybe. But yeah, so is there anything else from the episode that happened? I mean, the big news was Maggie's pregnant. I think they did a really shitty job of throwing the news out there. You think it would be something a little bit bigger deal, but it wasn't.
She's gonna end up dying like Rick's wife did.
In childbirth?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have a doctor, which they didn't have, which Laurie didn't have.
Okay.
What?
Are you sure she's a doctor?
She's a doctor. She's got a medical degree.
That and Laurie's had to come out by way of C-section.
That's true.
That
she did
already.
Well, then I'm fucked. In a zombie apocalypse, if I ever get pregnant, I'm fucked.
Well, and so, Colin was watching and it went on to, Talking Dead afterward. Mm-hmm. And Chris Hardwick said, I don't understand why there's not more fucking in the apocalypse. Like, shit's just hitting the fan. Let's fuck all the time. I'm like, because you don't want people to get pregnant. Because what is the worst thing? What is worse than being pregnant in the apocalypse? What is it?
Unknown name.
No. Alright, so...
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Anyway, I think next week, the Wolves are going to be making a big mistake fucking with...
Daryl is about to head off against the Wolves, so...
between Daryl and, what's this,
Abram. Yep.
And then you got the crazy ass black girl out there with him. It's going to be some shit.
Well, I was going to say, I think that they might think that they're soft because they went to the town and those people had no experience fighting and they kind of ran all over them. But if they're going to fuck with the 3 fighters, probably not a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I guess we'll see. And hopefully we'll find out what happened to Rick. Maybe we'll find out what happened to Glenn, but probably not. So.
Not till the mid-season premiere, at least.
Right, yeah.
Although, it would be interesting to see what would happen if he came back.
And the problem is they can't show him at all.
Yeah.
Because either in that moment he saves himself and he's alive, or he's dead. But we know he's not dead. Hashtag Glenn's not dead. So, anything else from the episode? Any comments? No?
I think that's it. I think next week we're going to be in for some crazy shit. And so on for the last 3 episodes of this half of the season.
So, I guess, and again, so you're thinking that at the end...